All right, Akim. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Kwatash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who were most of teachers of truth. Salutations to the sincere Akim and Akwath may listen. May the blessing of election be upon your house. My name is Brother Requai, back in here with another quick on Lord's will, as always, an edifying lesson. And for today's lesson, I kind of just want to go through a short clip that I came across. I don't really have a title, to be honest with you. I just came across the clip. I might change it. But I want to play it for you, brothers and few sisters. Listen, and Lord's will, as always, Yahweh Ratazah, that this may be edifying. So here's the clip. So I'm going to start from the beginning. Oh, and this clip was by it's a brother named the channel is The Hopeful Elect 3, right? So Khan.
Anybody that can say that they living better now than they was 4 years ago, I'd be happy to hear, how you living better.
I've been Democrat my entire life. Families voted Democrat. I probably have been the only family member that decided to step aside and vote for the Republican Party because I believe their values are more aligned with my culture as well as my family culture and values.
One of the reasons I think that it's important to vote for Trump is because I'm dissatisfied with our borders. I believe that those need to be secure. But one of the other issues that I take part of, I'm part of the LGBT, that community. We have to make a line of demarcation when it comes to this whole trans ideology.
The reason why we'll vote for Trump, Trump is offering more tangibles that some or most Black Americans think that will benefit our community. Kamala is not offering.
Right. So here you have a couple of simple-minded Israelites. They're speaking about going out to go vote. The election is running around the corner. We have all this plethora of different problems. And really and truly, that really is just a carnal, very simple solution to why you people are in the position, you Israelites mostly speaking of, why you're in this position as a whole, right? And don't understand that, two things you actually don't understand. Number one, the first thing you don't understand is that you are in captivity, right? So these people that you're looking to vote for do not have your interest as a nation as a whole. That's the first thing you need to understand. This is Baruch 3:8, and it says, "Behold, we are yet in this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our forefathers, which departed from the Lord our power." So that's another reason we're in this captivity, because we sinned against the Heavenly Father, and we were some curses. When you read Deuteronomy 28, those curses were put upon us, right? And that was a punishment, right? And now we're living in a time where you essentially have servants that are upon horses, like it says in Ecclesiastes. You have servants upon horses, and you have princes that sit in a low place. And these servants represent essentially these heathens, like especially these Edomites that rule over you, because you are not in those people are in a position of authority. The second thing you Israelites don't understand is that essentially, why would you want to have heathens ruling over you? But, one of the things I always say is that part of knowing who you are is also knowing who your enemies are. And Israel does not know that because they're consumed by gross darkness. So let me just read this real quick. This is Baruch 4:1, and it says, "This is the book of the commandments of the Most High Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever. All that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated," right? And part of that illumination is knowing who your enemy is, and knowing the schemes and the plots and even the way your enemy even functions. I might do a separate lesson for that. The way, the characteristics of the way these heathens function, right? And that's one of the things that you notice. Part of being illuminated is why, who have this understanding, what is the point of going out there to vote anyway? It's pointless. And thirdly, I should say, because you're illuminated, you realize that it's important for you to have someone of your own kin ruling over you. You have a bunch of heathens ruling over you. These people do not have the mindset and have the intelligence and the understanding of Yahweh Bashim El Shai, right? So I wanted to just read that in let's bear with me on this. I wanted to get that because something I also noticed recently was the fact that recently you had Eminem, the rapper. He showed up at I believe it was a Kamala Harris event, and then you also had Obama, that that feather duster, showed up at one of her events as well. So now, one of the things I've noticed is that when it comes to the so-called Democrats, like, they're both wicked, to be honest with you. But the point really is that when it comes to these so-called Democrats, one of the things they always do, because they know Jake is always watching the so-called Democrats, right? They always get a lot of these celebrities to kind of endorse their candidate, to kind of smoothen and butter Jake up, right? So Jake would actually fall into these snares and different traps. This is part of the illumination, because they're doing the same tactics over and over and over again. It was the same thing during Hillary Clinton's not presidency, but the time, I believe she was running against Trump in 2015, 2016, and then Trump ended up winning, right? During that time, they had I think they had Katy Perry, right? And that's really the point here. And now this time you have Kamala Harris going, running for the presidency, and now you have Eminem, you have this guy from the what's this guy's name? That rap group, Migos. There we go. Quavo. You have him. I think they had some other, Megan Thee Stallion, this hoe. You have all these different celebrities, and Jay keeps falling for the same tricks over and over again because they are not illuminated. They're destroyed for lack of knowledge, right? So, I just wanted to read a couple precepts in Deuteronomy 17. So just bear with me on this. Okay, so this is guidelines for a king. Because I don't understand why, Jake, they think that, they want these foolish candidates ruling over you. Okay, so this is Deuteronomy 17, verse 14, excuse me. And it says, when thou come into the land, which the Lord Yahweh thy power giveth thee, and possess it, and dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord Yahweh shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother, right? So you're not supposed to be having all these heathens ruling over you, because they're heathens. These heathens are supposed to be learning and coming to you. You're not supposed to be going to them for all the wisdom and understanding and, counsel and all that kind of stuff. Verse 16, it says, but he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that which should multiply horses, for as much hath the Lord has said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way. Neither shall he multiply wives unto himself, that his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply himself silver and gold. And that's one of the mindsets of essentially, these people that rule over you. That's what they do when they get into these different lofty positions, right? When they get into these lofty positions, they use your affliction essentially to get them into the office. They parade it around. Like, for example, in Canada, every time when there's an election rolling around, all you hear is about the so-called missing Indigenous women and all that. And you never hear about what the politicians do for them. You never hear about, anything to remedy your problem. But our people are the first to jump up and show them support every time there's an election. Like, they're going to do something for you. That's why the scriptures say, never trust thine enemy, and why pity a charmer who is always being bitten by a serpent. You Israelites need to understand that you are being bitten by a serpent, and you need to understand that is your enemy. You wouldn't go to the wilderness, for example, you wouldn't go into the forest and pick up a rattlesnake. Why not? Because the rattlesnake can bite you. That's why it rattles its tail, right? But you have these heathens rattling their tail, and you're continuing to pick it up. That's really what's going on here. Verse 18, and it says, and it shall be when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priests, the Levites. Verse 19, and it shall be with him, he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord, that his power, and keep the words of this law and these statutes and do them, right? So that is a righteous authority. And that's what we want under who the world calls Jesus Christ, Hamashiach Yahushai, right? Because then the kingdom of heaven is going to be a righteous rulership. It's not going to be a wicked rulership like in this kingdom, in this society, because these people do not have they don't have those measures put in place. It says, verse 20, that his heart not be lifted up above his brethren, and that he turn not aside from the commandments to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom, he and his children in the midst of Israel, right? So you're supposed to have your own kinsmen, your own people, and especially the mind of a righteous ruler, ruling over you. That's why, we want, that's why the kingdom is important, because you're not going to get that in this kingdom. You're not going to get that by voting for these people. These people don't care about you. That's why the scriptures say, as a matter of fact, let me get that. Jeremiah 15 verse 5, and it says in the NLT, who will feel sorry for you, Jerusalem? Who will weep for you? And who will bother to ask how you are, right? So this is the condition that we're in as a people. Our people, for example, these other nations, they don't care about you. They use your affliction to get themselves. They use your sad stories, your sob stories, the things that happen to you to essentially get them into the positions where they're in, right? But other than that, they toss you aside like old shoes. But you Israelites are so, people are very simple, Proverbs 1 verse 22, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge, right? So how long will you delight staying in a simple state that you're in, right? It's time to actually become illuminated in righteousness and wake up to the BS that's going on, right? That these people are not for you, right? So anyways, I guess I'll just leave it there. But, I kind of just wanted to, make that quick lesson, because this is what's They're really just, these two different parties, they're just doing the same thing they do every 4 years. And Jake has not woken up and become illuminated in righteousness to understand that, right? But anyways, I guess I'll just leave it there. But, hopefully, your brothers and a few sisters were edified. Till next time, I say shalom.